Well, that was fantastic. How was it to perform live again?
Yeah, really good. It's been a long year of not performing, so it feels really good to get back to it. We last had our last gig in January, so it's been a long while since we've made some music together. So yeah, I just hope it continues this way because it's been too long.
And you were also performing earlier with Secret Night Gang, so do you want to explain the connection? Because this was a bizarre scenario.
Well, my mum is a music producer, well-known music producer in Manchester, and she has been helping manage and produce them. So I've just had it in my ears for like months. So I already pretty much knew the tunes anyway. And yeah, I've just become quite close with Callum and Kamani, who write the music for the band. I mean, they all write the music for the band. But yeah, so I did the BVs for their recorded songs. So they just asked me to jump on today as well.
Yeah, because it was bizarre. I called up their manager,
yeah,
not knowing who their manager was, and said, "Oh yeah, on the lineup we've also got Marley." And she goes, "Oh, Marley's my daughter."
Yeah, small world.
Small world. So let's take it back to the beginning a bit. We first came across you in 2016 when you released your EP, Quiet Silence.
Yeah.
So how did you get into music? How did it all come about? Obviously, there's music in the family, I guess.
Yeah. So obviously, like I just said, my mum's a music producer and sound engineer, and my dad's a singer. Both my grandparents are classical composers and pianists, and then on my dad's side we've got a lot of like DJs and singers as well. So it was kind of inevitable that music was going to be part of my life somehow. And I felt like I didn't really start taking it seriously until I went to university in 2012. But even before that, I'd been singing backing vocals for JP Cooper, who's now like blown up, which is really cool to see. I've still been doing some stuff with him recently, so that's been really nice. But yeah, so I went to university and studied popular music at Leeds College of Music. And from then, when I graduated in 2015, I've just kind of been doing original music since then. So it's been, like 5 years since I've been doing it properly and had some really great opportunities along the way. So I'm very grateful to be on this journey that I'm on.
Yeah, we did a showcase actually with JP in the early days.
Oh, really?
Under the Bridge, quite a few years ago now. But
I feel like that was one that I was doing BVs for him.
Oh, really?
Potentially, because I remember that. Yeah.
It was for Music Week because we were.
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But yeah, I did a few down in London with him as well.
So how did you come about to actually record your own stuff once you sort of started doing BVs and stuff?
So my mum had a studio at the time in Manchester. So I kind of had like free reign, really. So it's very handy to have a mother that is a sound engineer. So I had already played with quite a few people at uni because I kind of made some connections with musicians, as you would at a music university. And then, we started doing, writing some original music, mainly me, and then kind of taking it to them to develop. And then we decided to record it at my mum's studio. And then, from then on, it's just kind of like we've been together ever since, all of us. So it's been really nice to actually stick with the same people because we just kind of feel like a family. And so from then on, I've kind of started to collaborate with other people and collaborate with other producers, some other musicians and singers and stuff like that. So it's an ongoing process.
What's interesting to me is that when we first heard your music, at that time you were a bit of an outlier. There wasn't that many UK artists doing soul.
Yeah.
There was the whole jazz thing coming through quite strongly. There wasn't that many people doing soul. Now, in 2020, there's loads and loads of artists coming through. There's a bit of a scene in Manchester and London. There's loads. So what made you decide? Because you were kind of trailblazing a little bit. What made you decide to go down the soul route, particularly for younger artists? I mean, obviously, soul has been with us for a very long time, but for younger artists to create soul music as opposed to R&B or all the different genres that younger audiences are into, what made you decide to do soul?
To be honest, I don't know if it was really a choice. I still don't feel like it's a choice now. I just kind of make music that I really like. I feel like I think my main influences are very like, maybe not in the same box, but they're in like similar categories, I would say. So like neo soul is like probably the thing that I listen to the most. And then like a lot of old school R&B and soul. But I didn't really feel like it was a choice. It was just what I enjoyed the most and kind of just gravitated towards. But I really like, like more singer-songwriter-y type vibes as well, which I kind of feel Come Closer that we did today maybe represents a little bit. And yeah, I enjoy going out into other genres as well, but like not too far, because I just love the vibe that soul and R&B just brings. Like, it just feels like a big warm hug. That sounds really cheesy, but I honestly, when I go to a gig and it's like I went to Moonchild, that was the last gig that I went to this year, and it was just, nothing feels better than listening to that kind of music to me anyway.
Was that in Manchester, the Manchester
Yeah,
gig?
yeah, they played a Band on the Wall, yeah.
And you did a show at Band on the Wall, didn't you, before lockdown?
Yes. Yeah, that was in January. So that was the last gig that I ended up doing, which was my first headline show. So I was like, like, you know, the train kind of was going to do like maybe a few more, but obviously it's been a weird year.
And then obviously before that you did the Academy with us.
Mm-hmm.
In December.
Yes, I was going to say last
year.
year.
It feels like a very long time
I was going to say.
But it's actually less than a year.
Yeah, it's gone so quick. But yeah, that was amazing as well. Such a great lineup of artists that were on there.
And you performed a couple of songs that are unreleased, didn't you? So
yes.
Tell me about those.
I'm trying to think what was on my set list now. So yeah, there was a couple. One that I wrote with a guy called Ed Thomas, who's great, and Toby Davis as well. So that's going to be coming out in the near future, but everything's felt very slow in 2020. Even though I guess there was like a lot of opportunity to create and write, I have to just be honest, I wasn't feeling crazy inspired. So it's not been, you know, like a mad productive year. I kind of wish it would be, but I'm not a person that can really force creativity. I prefer it to come naturally. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to releasing that song. It's all recorded and ready to release. I just need to set a release date for it.
And speaking of releases, you've just released a single, and you were saying earlier that it's a really important one to you. So
yeah.
Talk to us a bit about that.
Yeah, so Save Ourselves is about the environment and the world and the climate at the minute, which I feel is quite shocking. So I wanted to challenge myself and write something just a little bit different. I mean, I don't want to say everyone writes about like love and all that kind of stuff, because it's all different in many different ways, and it's all a different conversation. But I just wanted to write something a little bit different, something else that mattered to me. And at that point, I wrote it in 2018 now. And yeah, I think it's just a really important conversation to be having, and to just be aware of the decisions that we're making as human beings, and just being aware, being more cautious, trying to be as sustainable as possible, because at the end of the day, this is our home, and if we mess it up, then it's gone. So yeah, I think it's a really important topic of conversation to continue to have.
Well, we were fortunate enough to have it early, and we've been supporting it, and we love the single.
Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about Manchester and being part of the Manchester scene and stuff. What's that? How's that been?
Oh, I mean, I guess it's all I know, so it's great. Everyone's very supportive, which is really nice. Obviously, Connie, who's part of Children of Zeus, was DJing for the showcase that we did last year, and I really feel like Children of Zeus are like pioneers for showcasing like up and coming talent of Manchester, which is really, really nice. And it kind of just feels like that all around. Everyone feels very integrated and supportive of one another, which is really nice, because it can feel quite daunting, especially maybe when there's a lot of people that are maybe doing a similar genre to you, or yeah, it can just feel quite scary.
So is it like a small community?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, you know, we all share music with each other, and a couple of the people, a couple of artists that we know, like, you know, have radio shows on like Reform Radio, for example, and Unity Radio. So everyone kind of plays each other's music, which is really nice as well, because, you know, they could just be playing anyone's, but they choose to really represent their city, which I think is really, really nice.
And so tell us a bit about the future. What's coming up for Marley?
New music. I mean, I feel like everyone would just say that, but yeah, I've got a couple of releases ready to release. I am starting to get back into writing now, so I'm very excited to be doing that. More so just on my own as well, rather than I love to collaborate, but I really kind of want to home in on my sound and make sure that I'm representing myself authentically. So yeah, lots of new music is coming very soon.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you very much for today. It's a wonderful performance.
Thank you so much.